While sitting on the side of the highway waiting to catch speeding drivers, a state police officer sees a car puttering along at 20 miles per hour. He thinks to himself, "This driver is just as dangerous as a speeder." So he turns on his lights and pulls the driver over. Approaching the car, he notices that there are 5 old ladies, 2 in the front seat and 3 in the back, wide-eyed and white as ghosts. The driver, obviously confused, says to him,
"Officer, I don't understand. I was doing exactly the speed limit. What seems to be the problem?"
"Ma'am," the officer replies, "you weren't speeding. But you should know that driving slower than the speed limit can also be a danger to other drivers."
"Slower than the speed limit?"
the old woman asked.
"No, sir. I was doing the speed limit. Exactly 20 miles per hour."
The old woman says a bit proudly. The state police officer, trying to contain a chuckle, explains to her that 20 was the route number, not the speed limit. A bit embarrassed, the woman grinned and thanked the officer for pointing out her error. The officer then asked,
"Before I let you go, ma'am, I have to ask, is everyone in this car okay? These women seem awfully shaken, and they haven't muttered a single peep this whole time."
"Oh, they'll be all right in a minute, officer. We just got off Route 119.
A pirate walks into a bar. He has a wooden leg, an eye patch, and a hook for a hand. The bartender is curious and asks,
"How'd you get that wooden leg?"
The pirate takes a swig of ale and says,
"'Twas a terrible sea battle. I stood bravely, directly facing 12 cannons. All they managed to hit was me leg."
The bartender asks,
"What about your hook?"
The pirate takes another long swig and answers,
"Arr, 'twas the day the British Navy caught me. They tied me to the mast, and I escaped by gnawing off me own hand."
The bartender is growing skeptical.
"And how did you get that eye patch?"
The pirate takes another swig.
"'Twas a mutiny. Me own crew left me marooned on a desert island. As I looked up, a seagull flew over and pooped in me eye."
The bartender says,
"That's ridiculous. No one loses an eye from bird poop."
The pirate finishes his ale in one gulp, then grimaces.
'Twas me first day with me hook."
A married couple was in a terrible accident where the man's face was severely burned. The doctor told the husband that they couldn't graft any skin from his body because he was too skinny. So, the wife offered to donate some of her own skin. However, the only skin on her body that the doctor felt was suitable would have to come from her buttocks. The husband and wife agreed that they would tell no one about where the skin came from, and they requested that the doctor also honor their secret. After all, this was a delicate matter. After the surgery was completed, everyone was astounded at the man's new face. He looked more handsome than he ever had before. All his friends and relatives just went on and on about his youthful beauty. One day, he was alone with his wife, and he was overcome with emotion at her sacrifice. He said, "Dear, I just want to thank you for everything you did for me. How can I possibly repay you?"
"My darling,"
she replied,
"I get all the thanks I need every time I see your mother kiss you on the cheeks."
A lawyer has just purchased a new Ferrari, and he is very eager to show it off to his colleagues. Suddenly, an 18-wheeler comes out of nowhere and takes off the driver's side door as he's standing right next to it.
"No!"
he screams, because he knows that the car will never be the same again. Minutes later, a policeman arrives. The lawyer runs up to him screaming,
"My Ferrari door was just torn off by that idiot in that truck over there!"
The policeman looks at him and asks,
"You're a lawyer, ain't you?" "Well, yes, I am,"
replies the lawyer.
"But what does that have to do with anything?"
The policeman replies,
"You lawyers are all the same. All you care about are your personal possessions. I bet you didn't even notice that your left arm is missing."
Shocked, the lawyer looks down at his side and screams,
My Rolex!
Larry is 75 years old and has played golf every day since his retirement 15 years ago. One day, he arrives home looking downcast.
That's it,
He tells his wife,
I'm giving up golf. My eyesight has become so bad that once I hit the ball, I can't see where it landed.
His wife sympathizes with him and makes him a cup of tea. As they sit down, she suggests,
Why don't you take my brother with you next time?
Oh, that's no good.
Larry sighs.
Your brother is 85. He can't help.
He may be 85,
Says his wife.
but his eyesight is perfect.
So the next day, Larry heads off to the golf course with his brother-in-law. He tees up, takes a mighty swing, and squints down the fairway. He turns to his brother-in-law and asks,
Did you see where the ball went?
Of course I did!
answers his brother-in-law.
I have perfect eyesight!
Well, where did it go?
Larry asks. His brother-in-law replies,
I don't remember!
A drifter, who obviously has seen more than his share of hard times, approaches a well-dressed gentleman on the street.
Hey, buddy, can you spare $2?
The well-dressed man responds, You're not going to spend it on liquor, are you?
No, sir, I don't drink.
Replies the drifter.
You're not going to throw it away in a poker game, are you?
Asks the man.
No way, I don't gamble.
Answers the drifter.
You wouldn't waste the money at a golf course for greens fees, would you?
Asks the man.
Never.
Says the drifter.
I don't play golf.
The man asks the drifter if he would like to come home with him for a home-cooked meal. The drifter accepts eagerly. While they are heading for the man's house, the drifter's curiosity gets the better of him.
Isn't your wife going to be angry when she sees a guy like me at her table?
He asks the man. Probably, says the man, but it'll be worth it. I want her to see what happens to a guy who doesn't drink, play poker, or golf. An engineer dies and goes to hell. Dissatisfied with the level of comfort, he starts designing and building improvements. After a while, hell has air conditioning, ice water, flushing toilets, and escalators. The engineer is really popular now. One day, God asks Satan,
So, how are things going down there?
Satan says,
Why, things are going great. We've now got air conditioning, ice water, flushing toilets, and escalators. There's no telling what this engineer is going to come up with next. He's simply brilliant.
God is horrified.
What? You've got an engineer? That's clearly a mistake. He should never have gone down there. You know all engineers go to heaven. Send him up here immediately.
Satan says,
No way. I really like having an engineer on the staff. I'm keeping him.
God says,
Send him back up here or I'll sue you.
Yeah, right.
Satan laughs.
And just where are you going to get a lawyer?
Billy Bob comes home from college to his redneck family in tears. Ma, am I adopted? He asks.
Heck no!
Replies his mother.
Why in tarnations would you think such a thing?
Billy Bob shows her his genealogy DNA test results. No match for any of his relatives, and strong matches for a family who lived on the other side of the county. Confused, his mother calls her husband.
Pa, Billy Bob has done a DNA test, and he might not be our son.
Well, he ain't.
Replies the husband. She gasps.
What do you mean?
The husband answers.
It was your idea in the first place. You remember that first night in the hospital when the baby did nothing but scream and cry? Then you asked me to change him? Well, I picked a good one, I reckon.
Javier comes up to the Mexican border on his bicycle. He's got 2 large bags over his shoulders. The guard stops him and asks,
"What's in the bags?"
Sand.
answers Javier. The guard says,
"Well, we'll just see about that. Get off the bike."
The guard takes the bags and rips them apart. He empties them out and finds nothing in them but sand. He detains Javier overnight and has the sand analyzed, only to discover that there is nothing but pure sand in the bags. The guard releases Javier and puts the sand into new bags, hefts them onto the man's shoulders, and lets him cross the border. The next day, the same thing happens. The guard asks,
"What have you got?"
Sand.
says Javier. The guard does his thorough examination and discovers that the bags contain nothing but sand. He gives the sand back to Javier, and Javier crosses the border on his bicycle. This sequence of events is repeated day after day, every single day for a year. Eventually, Javier is never seen crossing the border again. Years pass, and by coincidence, the guard happens to see Javier in a cantina in Mexico.
"Hey, buddy,"
Says the guard.
"I know you was smuggling something. It's driving me crazy. It's all I think about. I can't even sleep. So, just between you and me, what were you smuggling?"
Javier sips his beer and replies,
Bicycles.
One day, all the organs of the body were having a meeting trying to decide who was in charge. The brain said, "I should be in charge because I run all the body's systems. Without me, nothing would happen."
I should be in charge,
said the heart.
because I pump the blood and circulate oxygen all over the body. Without me, you'd all waste away.
"No, I should be in charge,
Said the stomach.
because I process food and give all of you energy."
I should be in charge
Said the rectum.
because I'm responsible for waste removal.
All the other body parts laughed at the rectum and insulted him. So, in a huff, he shut down tight. Within a few days, the brain had a terrible headache, the stomach was bloated, and the blood was toxic. Eventually, the other organs gave in. They all agreed that the rectum should be the boss. The moral of the story? If you want to be the boss, just be an a-hole. A very successful businessman has a meeting with his new son-in-law,
I love my daughter, and now I welcome you into the family.
says the man.
To show you how much we care for you, I'm making you a 50-50 partner in my business. All you have to do is go to the factory every day and learn the operations.
The son-in-law interrupts,
I hate factories. I can't stand the noise.
I see.
replies the father-in-law.
Well, then you'll work in the office and take charge of some of the operations.
I hate office work.
Says the son-in-law.
I can't stand being stuck behind a desk all day.
Wait a minute.
Says the father-in-law.
I just made you half owner of a money-making organization, but you don't like factories and won't work in an office? What am I going to do with you?
Easy.
Says the young man.
Buy me out.